And in this 10 years, in very recent times, I have been asked by L'Arche in Ireland to take on the role of leading L'Arche on the island of Ireland. And so today is my last official time speaking to you as the leader of this community. And it's hard. It has been an extraordinary 10 years. And as I look out at this room, I am humbled by all that has been given to us, and also all that has been taken away. What else is there to say? I said to everyone, if I managed to hold myself together for the first hour, I'd do well. I want to thank you all, each and every one of you, for being part of my life, and our lives, and for being the space from which we have become the best community we could be. A place to grow. If there is not a place where tears are understood, where can I go to cry? If there is not a place where my spirit can take wing, where can I go to fly? If there is not a place where my questions can be asked, where can I go to seek? If there is not a place where my feelings can be heard, where can I go to speak? If there is not a place where I can try and learn and grow, where can I go just to be me? Amen. To the future of our community, to all that has been given, all that is today, and all that will be tomorrow, I hand it back to God and into the hands of very good people.
She's escaped off the stage already. She is just an absolute superwoman, as has been shown today, with all the things which have been said by Maria about everybody else. She has a wonderful gift of leadership, and she's just inspirational. She wins you over as soon as you meet her, and it is through Maria, my first meeting with Maria, that she involved me in L'Arche Belfast, and this wonderful community of people represented on the stage here. So I think what sums her up really is her fun of living and life, her incredible spirit, which creates such a soft space for everybody, and really expands upon the gifts that we all have to greater and lesser degrees. And she wrote a book called Soup and What Else? I don't know whether people have seen this, and I thought the best testimony was actually to start with a couple of things which Maria wrote, which to me conveys her influence in Belfast. So the first one is about the food of friendship, which serves the whole human race. Ingredients: people, love, tenderness, joy, compassion, forgiveness, fun, trust, loss, despair, faithfulness, vulnerability, courage, and more. Method: put the ingredients into a melting pot and place on the stove with ordinary, everyday living. Simmer slowly and gently until everything is soft and tender. Serve at room temperature in different sized portions according to appetite. Serve with generous helpings of food, faith, good humour, and season with a sprinkling of mystery. And also what Thomas wrote about community. Thomas asked, "What's that?" It's about people being friends. It's about being connected to one another. It's about belonging together. Oh yes, now I see. It's a roundy thing. Around and round, back and forth. It's an around the table kind of thing. And then lovely Gillian, beautiful Gillian, the picture here. We stand for a world where everyone and everything belongs, and makes a difference. We stand for a world that is slow enough to wait for the slowest and soft enough to embrace the most fragile. We stand for a world that is tender and beautiful, a place that we are proud to call home. And Maria put together this beautiful book, which is called A Little Book of Treats for Body and Soul. And if people haven't seen this, perhaps we have some of the copies here which people could buy today. And it really sums up her influence upon our community in large Belfast. And the wonderful thing about Maria's new role is that she isn't leaving us, she is just moving to convey her gifts to the whole of the island so that people everywhere may benefit through her incredible power of love and leadership and fellowship.
As someone who's worked closely alongside Maria in the past few years in the community, I've been chosen to say thank you on behalf of all of us. If some of you have been to a large meeting prayer before, every time someone leaves the community, we have a prayer for them, and everyone has a chance to say to the person who is leaving what they've appreciated about them, and to wish them well. And a few years ago, Maria said, "It's not fair, I never leave the community, and I never leave the community, so I never get to have a leaving prayer." And officially Maria is moving on, but she's still a part of our community, but I thought in her honor, we would have a leaving prayer in a pocket, so I have it here. Everyone's thoughts. So this is for you, Maria. So according to all of us, Maria, you are purple. Maria is comforting. She encourages us to think outside the box. Maria is pioneering inspiration. Maria sees the best in everyone. Maria is respectfully straightforward. Maria focuses on possibility. Maria has a good car. Maria takes me everywhere in her car. Thank you. Maria is loyal. Maria is a clown. Maria wears lovely jewelry, as evidence today. Maria is very, very fun. Maria has phenomenal energy. She is inspiring. Maria can talk to anyone. Just 2 words. Ice cream. Maria is very enthusiastic. Maria is beautiful. Maria can keep a conversation going. Now, this next one is a bit abstract, but I think you're going to know who it came from. Maria's car broke down. Fix? Roger. Roger is the name of our mechanic, and I'm glad that he was mentioned here today. Maria has great empathy. Maria is smiling. Maria is dedicated. Maria is all right. Maria made my dream come true. Maria knows how I feel without me even saying anything. Massage. Very happy. Massage. You'll know who that was from. Not me. Maria is faith-filled. She challenges me to take one step further. Maria makes me feel more positive about things. I love our chatty car trips together. Maria is caring. Maria makes me laugh. And Maria has taught me what real leadership means. So thank you, Maria. We'll miss you in your role, but as I was looking over this list, I was realizing even though they might all apply to you as a leader, they also apply to you as a friend. So you will always be our friend, and you will always be a part of the community. So thank you. We gave her gifts which we hope would make her home more beautiful, flowers. And we gave her a gift which we hope
words about Scott. I had the privilege of being here about 3 weeks ago, and I listened to all the community speaking about Scott and his leadership. And I think what struck me most listening to the community was the extent to which Scott is trusted as a person and as a leader. And people spoke about his integrity. Somebody said he is what he appears to be. And I think that's a wonderful quality in the leader, the quality of integrity. And Scott embodies that integrity and is very much affirmed by his community in that. Secondly, people spoke, Scott, about your ability and reminded me how good you are at management issues and negotiating with regulatory bodies and so on. And not only do you have management skills, but also you have the pastoral skills that are necessary in the role of community leader. So that was strongly affirmed, and it was lovely to hear that. And lastly, you're a man of vision. And not only do you have a vision for the community, but you really embody the vision and the values of L'Arche. And that reflected in a way in which you remain very grounded in your relationship with the co-members and close to them. And so it was said to me that Scott's he doesn't just talk the talk, but he walks the walk. He embodies it. He lives the mission of L'Arche and the values of L'Arche. So I think with trust, Scott, you can really build community. Giovanni said that trust is the cement of community. And with trust, I think there's a very bright, ongoing future for this wonderful community. So, Scott, I just want to say, on behalf of the International Federation of L'Arche, I want to say thank you for taking on the mantle of leadership, for your yes to being the servant leader of this wonderful community. I wish you all the very best in this new role. So over to you, Scott.
A few words to Scott on behalf of the board members. Maria talked about succession planning and all the little ones that are around us. We in the board know that Maria did a wonderful job in succession planning. The fact that she has given us Scott to carry on the wonderful work that she has been doing over the last 10 years. We know we've got a wonderful, as you can see, father of a little family, but also the father and leader of our family behind us. And we in the board are really supportive and so grateful to you, Scott, for taking on this job. And we're totally behind you. And God's blessing in your new job.
So I was just to say a few words about what I think about leadership, or what matters to me as a leader. And also to share a bit about our vision as a community for the next 5 years. But before I start, I should probably make a confession, and that is, this is the last place I thought I would find myself when I first came to Belfast 10 years ago. Because anyone in my community will tell you that I spent quite a bit of time in the beginning trying to avoid responsibility. And they'll also tell you that when Megan and Noah and I came, we originally said, oh, we'll stay for 2, maybe 3 years. So here we are, 10 years later, and I have a lot of responsibilities. So I'm not sure what happened in between, and here I am. And I'm glad to be here. So as a North American, one funny thing that happens to you in Belfast is people always ask you why you're here. You're American, what are you doing here? Why are you here? You could be an American. So I've come up with a variety of answers to that. I mean, sometimes I say, oh, it's lovely summer weather. And sometimes I say it's the gorgeous Belfast accent that I can't get enough of. And sometimes I say it is a really nice place to raise a family, because it is. But actually the real reason is a bit deeper than that. When I was home in America over the summer, I kind of discovered why it is I'm still here after 10 years. We were home visiting family, and we visited Megan's family, and we visited my family, and my family had come together to celebrate the life of my grandmother who passed away, and also my grandfather who passed away a good 20 years ago. But my grandmother just passed away in February, and so we were coming together because I couldn't go home for the funeral. And so as families do, we were sitting around, we were sharing stories and going through old jewelry and old photographs and things. And I came across an autobiography that my grandfather had written about his life. My grandfather was a rough old farmer, very tough, and he came across that way to me as a child. I mean, I loved him and I really looked up to him. When I was reading through his autobiography, reading about his life, I was really touched, and I was touched especially because at the end, he had said, I wrote it down because I knew I would be honored. But he listed 3 things that were most important to him that he had learned in his 60-some years of life. And the first of those is to respect people for who they are and where they are. The next one is we can only relate to God in so much as we can relate to one another. And then the last one is we would all do well to accept people as they are. Now, it should be said that my grandfather knew nothing about Marsh. And I don't know how he managed to see the future of where I was going to end up. But somehow he managed to head Marsh right on the head. I mean, that's what Marsh is really about. And somehow, I think he never sat me down on his knee and said, now son, this is what I learned in my life, or anything like that. But somehow, those values got passed down to me through him, through my father, I don't know. And so when I really looked at why I'm still in Marsh and in Belfast, it's because of that. It's because Marsh Belfast is a place that embodies those values. It's a place where people can come, feel welcome, they're accepted for who they are, and we just see the gifts of the people who come to us, and we make room for them around the table. And so I think, really I can stand up there and tell you all sorts of wonderful things about who I'm going to be as a leader. I can tell you all sorts of wonderful things about our plans for the future. But really, if I can stand up here at the end of my time as community leader and say, we're still a place where we accept people as they are. We're still a place where we relate to one another as we relate to God. And my job has been well done. So that's me as a leader, and that's all I really hope to accomplish. I've also been asked on behalf of the community to share a bit about our vision for the future. And as some of you may know, we went away as a community back in May. We went to Drummondine for a residential. And there were about 30 of us. There were board members, there were core members, there were assistants, there were friends of the community. And we really came together to look at where we've been in the last 10 years, which you've seen a lot of today. And to think about all the things that we're really good at, and maybe some of the things that we're not quite so good at and would like to do better at. And then to talk really about our dreams for the future and where we want to be as a community in 5 years' time. And so it was a great weekend, and we came back with lots of notes, which were handed to me, and I was told, take a plan out of this, and I only had an afternoon to do it with. So I'm not going to sit here and go through the detailed plans for our future, but I do want to share some of our vision, and I'm going to ask for a bit of help from my friends back here. So Larry, can we do that? So here's Larry, my smallest power. And I'm afraid I'm going to subject you to a garden metaphor, because I am a gardener, and it's the way I think. So, as any gardener would know, the first thing you start with is your perennial. Your perennials that have been around for years and are doing really well and giving you good fruit and making nice flowers. And I have here a lovely perennial, which is potted in a chamber pot. Somehow very fitting for lunch. But that perennial is the ember. And the ember has been around from the very beginning. It's the place where people come and feel welcome. And we've welcomed so many people over the years. We are trying to think to count all the people who've come through as assistants. And we've lost count of somewhere around 100. So part of what we want for the next 5 years is for the Ember to stay at home, where people can feel welcome, and people can come and find place around the table. And I've asked Larry to come up here, because Larry is very attached to the Ember. What's the Ember for you? Is that home? Do you want to move? No? So the Ember is really important for Larry. And so one of the things we promised to Larry is that he would never have to leave the Ember, and that we would keep